take out the knife, slice the demon in half. This is the craziest boss battle I've ever done in a mobile game. Once Human Mobile is coming soon, and it's going to be one of the best mobile releases of 2025. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, this is an upcoming post-apocalyptic horror-themed open-world PvP and PvE survival game for both PC and mobile that combines elements of survival, exploration, and intense combat. It's set in a world where humanity has been devastated by a mysterious substance called stardust, which has transformed people into terrifying monsters. Once Human has amazing AAA quality graphics, the most insane boss battles I have ever seen in a video game. Like, look at this, dude. This is absolutely insane, and we're gonna expand on this in a little bit, right? But it also has a captivating storyline as well as tons of different side missions and side quests that you can complete whenever you want, that's gonna keep you entertained for hours at a time. It's free to play, not pay to win, and it's basically like a way more realistic version of Genshin Impact, complete with a shooter-looter element in a much creepier horror-themed environment. I played this game a little while back on my channel, and I've participated in a few of the different alpha and beta tests on mobile throughout the years, and it really is one of the coolest looking mobile games out there right now. So this video is sponsored by Once Human, but I genuinely really enjoy this game. It's a really freaking cool game, and I'm not just saying that, all right? And I think anybody that likes games like COD Mobile, PUBG Mobile, Arena Breakout, Wuthering Waves, Genshin Impact, all those types of games will really enjoy Once Human. You don't want to miss out on global launch, which is going to happen on April 23rd at 7 p.m. Pacific time. Over 30 million players have already pre-registered, so you don't want to miss out. I have a link down below in the description. If you click on that link and pre-register that way, you're going to get some exclusive items in-game that other players are not going to be able to get. So I hope you enjoy this video. Leave a like and subscribe, and let's get more in depth with Once Human. So before I actually jump into my gameplay of Once Human, what I wanted to do is talk about a few of some of my favorite features in this game. Number one, absolutely, is the boss battles, okay? I've not really done that many of them in this game yet, but already, from the very first one that you do, it is all the way turned up to the max. It is ridiculous. And then I can only imagine when you get higher level in this game, the boss battles are unlike anything I have ever seen in a video game before, all right? Maybe some other PC games have that, but certainly not in a mobile game, okay? There's a lot of different mobile survival games out there where you're going to have to defeat a bunch of zombies, and then you're maybe going to go up against a boss. But the boss is going to be like, you know, just a bigger zombie, you know, for instance, that might have a lot of health. Maybe they're going to shoot fire or something like that. They're not that crazy, but the bosses in Once Human are so creative and unique, and they're just insane. I mean, like, I just look at this and I'm like, how the heck am I even supposed to defeat that thing? I have no idea. I'm gonna see, you know, later on once I level myself up, but like, these boss battles are insane. I also really like the base building mechanics in Once Human. There's a lot of survival games out there that don't really have the best base building mechanics. You would figure that, like, that's the thing that they would nail down the best, but like, surprisingly enough, not actually that great in a lot of games. In Once Human, you have a ton of different items that you can build your base with, and since it's made by NetEase, they've had a lot of experience with other survival games in the past, and they know what they're doing when they're making a game like this. It just works. If you've played other mobile games before, you're going to immediately be comfortable with the controls and everything you need to do. And then that also brings me to the gunplay. The gunplay is actually very good in this game. Whether you use a crossbow to an SMG to a pistol, everything works well. Many mobile survival games might have nice graphics, but then they falter on the gunplay, and you really can only use a melee weapon well. In this game, you can use everything well, and it's awesome. Especially the melee, surprisingly enough. The melee is so fun. If you hold down your melee button, you have this like supercharged melee attack, and I honestly use that more than almost any other weapon, just because like it's almost always a one-shot kill on at least some of the lower level zombies. It's really freaking cool. Another thing I really like are the graphics quality. Even on mobile, it looks fantastic. It looks pretty close to the PC version of Once Human. From the boss battles to the different like really unique environments that you find yourself in, really freaking cool. They did a great job with the overall like graphics and art style of the game. I also really like the deviations. The deviations are these little, like, creatures that you can collect, and then they can do various different things for you. For instance, one of them, you just place down this little jelly blob, and then it heals up your character. There's another one that you can just send off to just mine a bunch of stuff for you, and it's basically like an auto miner. You basically send that little guy off, and he just mines copper and tin ore for you, so you don't have to do it yourself manually. It's really freaking cool. There's so many different ones. I haven't collected too many of them yet, but like they are really cool and a really unique feature to this game that I haven't seen in other survival games. And finally, before we actually jump over to my gameplay, the other thing that I really like in this game is the overall community of Once Human. Surprisingly enough, not toxic at all. Like the people are very supportive and they help each other out. I've been kind of confused in certain situations, like I don't know how to fish, for instance, and I ask people, how do I do that? They will respond in the chat. They don't just sit there and say you're stupid. They actually explain how to do things. If I ask, hey, how do I heal a broken bone? They just flat out respond and they give you a nice response, so you're not completely left in the dark. So overall, the community of Once Human is another great positive, and there's just so much more. But like, if I just talked about every single thing that I liked, this video would be like 50 minutes long, right? What I wanted to do in today's video is show you all some of the highlights from my gameplay today. I played for about 3 to 4 hours, and I just wanted to show you all some of the coolest moments that I encountered when I played Once Human. Now then, getting into my gameplay, I started my day off selecting my base location, and this is it. I chose this amazing view out over the valley, way better spot for a base than where I've chosen in the past. You guys can feel free to let me know in the comments if you think this is a good base location, but I set off collecting all the materials I would need to build my base bigger and better, knocking down every tree in sight and breaking down every rock for minerals. One thing I really like about Once Human is these materials regenerate, so you can knock down every tree nearby and then you just turn around for a little bit and then these things will respawn behind you. So you don't have to go super far away to get more materials. Eventually, I was able to build myself a furnace, a disassembly bench, a primary supplies workbench, and even a primary gear workbench. I crafted myself my first pistol, and I felt I was finally ready to go on an adventure. I opened up my map, teleported my way over to Deadville, and I finally saw the first signs of sanity and civilization. Well, to some extent. There was this weird girl with a mushroom on her head and a whole bunch of different people telling me I was a mayfly, which I guess is a very special type of person. These are the types of people that are able to control those deviation creatures that I talked about earlier. A guy named Samuel Lowe sent me off on my bike down to an abandoned town called Thruwville. I got to test out my shiny knife on a zombie, and as I was looking at a letter, a whole bunch of zombies sneaked up on me and knocked me out. I was really lucky I had an adrenaline shot because otherwise that would have been pretty embarrassing. It was all good though because the letter gave me the information that I needed. I had to head to a place called the Rotten Manor, which is just a lovely sounding place. I pulled up, fog was everywhere. There were these giant mutant mosquitoes that came up to you and exploded. And when I walked up to this yellow statue thing, a gigantic boss battle appeared. This crazy black ghost thing called the Ravenous Hunter's Doppelganger, and it had a whole freaking minigun. So what did I do? I did what any intelligent person would do facing a monster like this, and I took out my little knife. Why I did that, I had no idea, but it freaking worked. I beat the boss battle, got a whole bunch of cool rewards, and I was feeling a whole lot stronger. So I drove back over to see my friend Mary at the speed of light. Not necessarily the best driving in the world, but that's okay. And she was very happy to see me alive. She told me that the next time we would be going in as a team, and right at that moment, I randomly found out that I had a custom SMG this whole time. That would have made things really easy and a lot more helpful in the boss battle, but it's okay. I told her to follow me, and we made our way all the way up to the Monolith of Greed. I used my machete on literally everything, and I'm just going to be honest, that's a big tip I have for you when you play this game. Don't waste all your ammo on these random zombies. Use your machete because it's way more powerful than you think. I encountered a whole lot of new zombies here, including this spawner, which just looks absolutely disgusting. You would not want to see something like this in real life. And this is when I found out that, yes, Once Human does have fall damage. I mean, to be fair, I did know it already had fall damage, but I just didn't know I would be taking it right here. But that's okay, that's besides the point. I finally found another player in PvE. This guy follows me around for well over an hour. I think unintentionally. I guess he was completing the same missions as me, and it was really nice because he was killing zombies for me and unintentionally helping me out a lot. I made my way into this giant compound, and what do you know, there's another horrifying alien-like creature. It was actually just a rift beacon, but I can't help but think that that thing is alive. It freaks me out. The game wanted me to team up with some people to complete this next boss battle, but I couldn't find a team willing to take me on. I guess I was too low of a level and I looked like a noob. So I decided to go in solo and prove them wrong, but I had no idea what I was getting myself into. I just want to play this part of the cutscene because this is absolutely insane.
Help me! Shouldn't have tried to take what was yours. Forgive us. You are truly a great one. Mercy, please. Even without their submission. We are still Legion!
So yes, now it was my time to go up against the boss battle of your biggest nightmares, the real Ravenous Hunter. I took out my SMG and this thing was just eating the bullets. It was super powerful. And then randomly, it would just become immune. It would just spawn all these other little creature things, and I had to kill all of those things first before I could even continue killing the Ravenous Hunter. I was dodging left and right, constantly trying to hit this guy in his most vulnerable spots, but eventually, I ran out of ammo for my SMG, and I thought I was screwed. But believe it or not, even with the freaking airstrikes and all the other ridiculous stuff this giant monster was throwing at me, my little basic pistol somehow managed to get me out of there alive. I made that final shot, finally killed that nightmare of a boss, and that marked the second boss battle complete. But oh, did you think I was done? Not even close. It gets even crazier. I was just minding my own business a little while later trying to get some apples and oranges, and I turn around and all of a sudden see the most ridiculous monster I have ever seen in a video game. This thing is called Hales' Moving House, and I believe it's actually a passive enemy. I could walk all around it, underneath it, shoot at it, and nothing would happen. There's even a guy that built his base right next to this thing. How he even sleeps at night, I have no idea. So I wandered off very confused, saw this thing in the distance, spent some more time exploring, looting, gathering some more materials and food, and I stumbled across this little guy, the Digby boy. This is the greatest little guy ever. You can even pet him. Apparently, he's one of the little deviations that you can get if you're lucky enough, and he will go out and mine ores for you so you don't have to do it all yourself. And then there was this thing, the Rain Man. I still have no idea what this deviation does. And then finally, there was this weird 2D rabbit thing. I don't even know what it's called. It doesn't have a name. Maybe somebody can let me know in the comments what the heck this thing is. But I drove off over to a place called the Hearst Mud Flats to find a woman named Emma. She was very rude to me at first, but I guess my character thought she needed some saving, so I decided to take out every monster around her, and what do you know, I came across another one of the Digby boys, and I actually managed to catch him. I still don't know if you're supposed to get him in the early game, but I was still really happy nonetheless. After defeating the last few monsters, I got the medical supplies Emma needed, gave them back to her, and she was a whole lot nicer to me now. I was told that I needed to head to Myers Market. When I arrived, I was confronted by a very concerned guy, but as soon as he found out I was a mayfly, everything was a-okay. I talked to a few more people to get some valuable information, ransacked their market and stole all their potatoes and beets, found a mini version of the walking house guy, this time a walking bus, And as I was knocking down the most massive tree, 2 deviations appeared. I don't know if that's normal, but one of them was level 3 and the other was level 1. Unfortunately, despite trying 3 times, I couldn't catch the level 3 one, but I did catch the level 1 one. And I collected a Fetch-a-Lot bunny, which fetches stuff for you. I don't know. I've already had him for a while and I still don't know what he does, but that's okay. I walked over to this farm area and I thought I could bully some enemies, and turns out I could not. They were a lot more powerful than I expected, and there were dozens of them. I freaked out and ran out of there as fast as I could, so if you stumble across this place, do not engage. It is way too risky. I ran across the same guy that I saw before like a whole hour later, and he tried showing off his parkour skills. I was not nearly as good as him, but I got to the secret chest eventually that I think he was trying to get to, and then later on, I met back up with the same guy to infiltrate an underground bunker. The other guy ended up carrying me, killing all the monsters pretty much, because I was just sitting there trying to collect a whole bunch of different random intel, and I found this weird tree stump that teleported me to the craziest looking place I've seen in pretty much any video game ever. Like, look at this. What the heck did I get myself into? This was not the same place that I went into the bunker from. So I realized I only had one option: find a way to escape. After walking across some very precarious vines, I came up to this glowing tree, and that turned out to be another enemy. I was like, nope, not about that, and I ran right away from that guy. But guess what? I had to kill the tree to progress through the mission, so that took way longer than expected, and not what I wanted to do. And guess what? Another tree spawned in after I killed the first one. And these trees are way more powerful than it looks like. Like, I really thought I was going to die here, but these were nothing compared to what I was about to deal with. I killed the last tree, I jumped on this trampoline air thing, and I was immediately face to face with the hardest boss battle yet. Tree Ant's Doppelganger. From my past experiences, I knew what I needed to do. I took all the knowledge and skills learned from my past boss battles and I put them to use for this one. Tree Ant's Doppelganger was absolutely insane. By far one of the craziest boss battles I've done in a video game in a long time. And he was just the doppelganger. Can you imagine what the real one is like? This guy shoots out lasers from his eyes, fire orbs that auto-track and try to kill you, shoots giant boulders at you, and all the while you need to keep shooting this guy right in his face to get the maximum damage. I had to use a literal shotgun, so I had to get real close and personal with this guy. I had so many close calls, and I honestly have no idea how I even got this far without getting knocked out, but somehow, after 5 minutes of an insanely intense boss battle, I managed to kill him, and he became my third boss defeated. I teleported back to the main world. I was feeling super accomplished with myself, and I said, you know what? That's a good way to end the day. I gotta get back home and protect some of my gear and deviations. And with that being said, my friends, I've made it back home. I actually have been here for about 2 hours or so. I've been gathering some materials, upgrading my base. I have my little deviations out here doing some work for me. Look at this guy. Where's my Digby boy? Is he out here somewhere? Yes, there he is. There he is. Look. Here's my Digby boy. Look at him go. Mining at hyperspeed. And then I have this thing. This is the evil rabbit. He finds joy stabbing a dead deer. That's nice. Digby boy, you're too pure. You can just ignore what he's doing. Just keep on mining. It's fine. It's fine. But this is my base. I think it looks pretty good. And I want to show you all what it looks like from down below here. Oh, great. I meant to take out my crow so I could, not take any fall damage, but I guess I didn't learn from earlier on. This is what it looks like. I think it looks pretty good. Obviously I haven't put a roof on, I haven't done other stuff, but this kind of like vaguely reminds me of those European castles that are built up on top of rocks. And to show you all what it looks like on the inside, let's go open up my door. This is what it looks like. The whole bunch of zombies tried to raid my base, so you have to be careful. That actually happened when I put this thing down. This thing can purify things. As you can see here, the Stardust filter. So you have to be careful if you end up placing that thing down and you use it. But I have all of my different deviations right here. I have Digby Boy. I have the rabbit. I have this guy. This guy is very useful. So if you look down at the very bottom, I have my health. If I throw this guy on the ground here, he heals me. He literally heals me. And then I can just recall him. And yeah, that's what that guy does. I have the original, you know, butterfly that you get when you first start the game. And then I have the killer rabbit right here. So I got everybody. I even have an upstairs right here. I put my motorcycle upstairs, which I know is not very practical, but it's okay. It looks pretty good. And then that's the view. It looks awesome. I am so happy, dude. This is so fun. I'm going to be building this base for so many hours after I finish recording this. But yeah, I just wanted to show you all so you guys can kind of see what it's like for your first, you know, 5-6 hours or so playing Once Human. If you guys are interested in Once Human, as I said, I have a pre-register link down below in the description. You want to click on that so you can pre-register and get some exclusive rewards that other people are not going to be able to get. Definitely try this game out because I really enjoy it and I know you guys will as well. So yeah, that's basically it. Hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like and subscribe for some more mobile gaming content just like this. Potentially some more Once Human videos if you guys would like to see them. And I will see you all in the next episode.